Last time Old Dominion charged onto this field 3 years ago, and it was that year in 2019 the Monarchs stormed out to a 17-0 lead. You just had a feeling the man synonymous with March Madness was ready to make one final charge at a national title in his last season. Good morning, I'm Nathan Epstein with the Sports Wrap, and sure enough, Mike Krzyzewski is headed to his 13th Final Four. Baseball is back at Harbor Park. The Norfolk Tides opening the 2022 season against the Charlotte Knights, the AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. A lot of talent will be suiting up and playing on this field this year. 2 of the top 10 prospects in all of minor league baseball will be playing for the Tides, which is now under the watchful eye of a former Tide, Buck Britton. I think Curtis Samuel said it best after last week's win over the Jags. You can never have too many weapons. And we've been saying it since training camp. On paper, this looks like the best group of receivers Washington has had in at least a decade. Happy Saturday. I'm Nathan Epstein, live from beautiful Zabel Stadium on the campus of William M. Mary. And William M. Mary got off to a pretty good start, 1-0 after beating Charlotte last week on the road. For the second straight week, the number 4 Ford Mustang is covered in confetti. Last week, Kevin Harvick snapped a 65-race winless drought at Michigan. At least a few football questions, and that is, you beat me to it. It's 12 years in the league now. Does it feel like 12 years?
It doesn't feel like 12 years.
David Wright played 15 Major League seasons, 7-time All-Star. David, Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads has always meant so much to you. What does it mean to have your name now forever enshrined in the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame?
All right, my brother. Well, good luck, all right?
Thank you.
All right. You play at Duke for Coach K, arguably the greatest coach of our generation. Mm-hmm. Then you get a phone call from the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. Put into words what that phone call was like.
It's crazy.
Taylor Heineke played in all 16 games for the Commanders last year, and of course an Old Dominion legend. So Taylor, this is a club, by the way, during this event that has had some unbelievable coaches and athletes speak at this thing. You talk about Ralph Sampson, you talk about so many greats like David Wright, and they've asked you to speak. So what does it mean for them to ask you to speak, and what do you think it says about your impact in this area? Back in 2007, this program was just worried about fielding a team. They didn't field one till 2 years later in 2009, and now it's big enough to where the governor of Virginia joins us, Governor Glenn Youngkin.
And everybody across the nation is going to see great football tonight in Norfolk.
Have you thought about your next career as a football analyst?
Well, you know, I'm going to let somebody else be the football analyst.
I'm just going to start off with 4 words. Football is back, baby. And a new era of Washington football is now off and running in the nation's capital. And hey, it even feels a little bit like football season outside today. I'm Nathan Epstein, and I get it. It's only the preseason, but it's also a new name, a new quarterback, and a whole new attitude in D.C. First preseason game of the year for the newly named Washington Commanders with head coach Ron Rivera taking on the team he led for 9 years, the Carolina Panthers. In fact, Riverboat Ron led the Panthers to the Super Bowl a few years ago. New uniforms looking pretty sharp for Washington, but what wasn't so sharp, that offense the first 2 drives. First drive, they went 3 and out, and here's the second drive. Antonio Gibson coughs it up. Panthers recover. Now, Gibson missed the second half of last year with an injury, only carried today 4 times for 2 yards. And you could tell afterwards, yeah, he wasn't all that happy about it. Ensuing Panthers drive. Sam Darnold in at quarterback. Montez Sweat right in Darnold's grill, but still gets it away. That's a Panthers touchdown. 2 things that did not make Coach Rivera happy. Starting field position because of poor kickoff returns, and defense on second down.
You know, you got an opportunity on second and long when you're in defense. You got to keep it second long.
All right, now third drive on offense for Wentz. Started to settle down a little bit. There's something Washington fans want to see a lot of this year. Terry McLaurin, 16-yard pickup. Only catch of the day for Scary Terry. How about that run game? Pretty solid debut for the rookie out of Alabama. Brian Robinson burst up the middle. 6'1", almost 230 pounds. He's going to be tough to stop. Prime example, 3rd and goal from the 1. Give it to B-Rob. Roll Tide. Rivera said that's why they drafted him in the 3rd round. Wentz, meanwhile, a solid 10 of 13, 74 yards. No big plays, no touchdowns, but no interceptions either. Here he was after his debut.
There's a couple down the field that maybe I want back.
And real quick, we're going to talk about the guy who's going to back up Wentz this year, Taylor Heineke, Old Dominion all-time leading passer, local legend, really won over the D.C. fans as the starting quarterback last year. In still motor, check him out, finds the edge, picks up a nice first down, 11 yards. Not the best day, though, throwing for Taylor. A little bit later, looking long for the rookie, Kyrick McGowan, faces some pressure. out of Georgia Tech, picked off in the red zone. Taylor just 4 of 9, 21 yards. Tides won 6 of 7 games to start the month of June, but really haven't been able to find that second gear since then. They began this day 7th place in the division of the International League, but the one thing they have not had a problem with all season, that is hitting the ball. Tides taking on the Atlanta Braves affiliate, the Gwinnett Stripers. First inning, men on first and second for Gunnar Henderson. He singled in the first. That one just fair down the first base line. Both runners come home to score. That's a 2 RBI triple for Henderson, the youngest player in the International League at 20 years old. That made it 3-0 in the third. Bottom fourth, Henderson sends a charge through that one, deep to center and gone. His 5th home run of the year, and the 42nd overall pick by the Orioles 3 years ago makes it 6-0 Norfolk. He's 1 double away from the cycle. Then in the 6th, his last at bat on a full count, Henderson lines it to right field, a 4-for-4 night. Henderson, who made his AAA debut just 3 weeks ago, is the first Tide to hit for the cycle since Timo Perez 22 years ago. You're the first Tide to hit for the cycle since 2000. You weren't even born back then.
No, sir, that's pretty funny.
How does that feel?
It's really awesome to be able to have that. That's my first one ever, so to be able to do it here is really awesome.
And finally, I hear that tomorrow is your 21st birthday. This is a heck of a birthday gift, ain't it?
Yes, sir, it is. It's one of the best.
And a heck of a night for the left fielder, Kyle Stowers. Stowers towers that one over the tin roof in right. His 14th home run of the season. He went 2 for 3 with 3 RBI, but this night belonged to the top gunner. Gunnar Henderson lead the Tides to an 8-2 win. What a night at Harbor Park.
Let's go 3. Here goes Jacob.
Some may see it as a handicap.
I'm not going to use anything as an excuse.
Get out of here, 3, let's go, let's go.
But Jacob Chapman is living proof.
I think I can do just as well as anyone else.
Hey, Mark, let me know.
You don't need both arms to play with all heart on your sleeve.
Just because I have one arm doesn't mean I'm not going to try.
Now a senior at Isle of Wight Academy, Jacob was born 4 weeks early.
We found out when I was about 6 to 8 weeks pregnant that he was missing part of his left forearm and his left hand.
But he grew up just like any other youngster.
We've never really called it a handicap.
He rode a bike, he walked, he's done everything. So from that point on, we looked at it as that if, he could do all these things without any interruptions or any special needs or anything, then he can do anything else.
And there seems to be nothing he can't do. Jacob not only started, he was a co-captain on the basketball team. He was a star receiver on the football team. And don't even try him in the weight room, where he's part of the 1,000 club for his squats, bench press, and deadlifts.
My mindset's always been to do my best no matter what.
Jacob was named second-team All-State as a football player. On the basketball court, he averaged 12 points and almost 7 rebounds a game and was named the team's Defensive Player of the Year. But it was right here on the baseball diamond almost 2 weeks ago when he enjoyed maybe his most memorable moment.
The look on his face, he was just stunned.
In a game against Brunswick Academy, Jacob sent one flying over the right field fence.
The umpire looked at him and told him to go around. He just couldn't believe it.
That was my first ever home run, and I got so excited. I wish I'd ran around the bases a little slower and enjoyed the moment.
The team met him at home plate and just screaming for him.
The other team as well was so happy for Jacob to be able to do that. Everybody in the park was excited, and probably as much excited as I was, but being a dad, it just, that's icing on the cake right there.
Whether it's on or off the field, where he plans to attend Old Dominion to study civil engineering, the only limit for Jacob Chapman seems to be the sky. In Isle of Wight, Nathan Epstein for the Sport Track.